So we've got some beef stew, some nice lean chunks of beef, just browning off, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of pepper. So this is the beef now. You don't want to sort of fry it because it's like a stew. So basically what you're doing is releasing, it is browning, the beef as you can see, but you don't want it sort of caramelized. So what you do is keep this till that sauce reduces, and that is your thick beef broth which is going to go into the stew. So next I've just peeled some vegetables. We got some swede, some potatoes which I'm going to peel, some carrots which I'm just going to cut roughly so we want a nice chunky stew. So next, nice hot pan, so drizzle of oil, not a lot. Let that heat up, we're going to put the vegetables in there to just give them a bit of colour. What's left in the pan then, we let the pan cool down, we'll add a nice beef stock into that, and that will give you caramelised flavour for the stew. So there we go, that's the carrots in first. Not only does it soften the vegetables and reduce the cooking time, it brings out a really nice, as you can see, a nice charred flavour to your vegetables. You can imagine the sugar coming out with these now, the natural sugars are just caramelising, and that's what you want, is flavour. And this then on the bottom of the pan, when you add the stock, all the like gravy browning caramelisation will go into the stock. So another couple of minutes on these now, then we're going to put the swede in, the parsnips, and then the onions I'm just going to chop, just put them in lightly, for like 10-15 seconds, that will go straight in the pan. And also then the potatoes, which will go in chunky, about this size, maybe a little bit bigger, and that will be the final ingredient. And then we'll add the stock, and then we'll let it simmer then for about 2.5 hours. So that's all we need on these. These go into the pan, and now we're going to put the swede and parsnips in. Alright, so here's the swede and parsnip, and that's exactly what you're looking at. It's going to charge off the pan, alright. There we go. These are just about done. So I'm going to put these in the pan. I'm going to get the onions now, and then I'm going to put the potatoes in. So these are the onions, guys. Onions straight in. Similar thing you want, caramelisation, about 15 seconds, not too long on these, and these will go straight into the stew as well. And then the remaining thing to add into there will be potatoes, and I will show you how I do the stock. That's what you're after, guys. Nice caramelisation, that will go into the sauce. Always want any more recipes, I am a qualified chef. Like, subscribe, and put your recipe request down below. So that's been about 20 seconds, 30 seconds, half a minute say, that goes into the pot. So into the pan, one beef stock pot. Like that, caramelise in that pan. A little bit of white pepper, okay. A little bit of Cornish sea salt. Bear with me, just a taste. You can always add more later if required. And a tiny bit of rosemary, and that's it. Okay. And then we're going to wait for the kettle to boil. So you add hot water to the pan, never cold, because it will warp and ruin your pan. I nearly forgot about parsley, quite a bit of parsley. This is going to make up, I would say about, this is dry parsley, you can use fresh, about 4 tablespoons roughly, okay. Get your hot water, you pour that into your pan, alright. Bring to the boil. And this is going to be your stock, which which is all from the caramelized onions, the carrots and so on. So that's just coming to the boil, as you can see. I will be adding a little bit more water. So I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to get my pan here with stock, not the stock, the vegetables. I am going to put that on a medium heat, and I'm just going to pour this over the top. You will get some residue in here, just add more water into it. Just give it a little swish around, and that is your lovely beef stew. This now will boil, or I should say simmer, for about 2.5 hours. You can put it in the oven if you've got an oven proof dish. You can even use like a slow cooker, stock pot, but this, I can promise you, will be the best beef stew ever. And as you can see, the beef here is quite tender already because we pre-cooked it out. But yeah, if you require less salt, you can add less salt, more pepper, more spice. You can add, if you don't like rosemary, you can put oregano, thyme, whatever you want. But just remember to caramelize and cook out every single ingredient. You can thicken this if you want. I don't thicken it. I only put dumplings at the end. But yeah, so we're going to let this cook now for about 2.5 hours on a medium heat with the lid on.